Well, good evening, everybody. It's good to see you guys tonight. I know what? It's not Tuesday morning. It's Monday night. I know. We wanted to just come on today and just talk to you guys and tell you about some exciting things that we have going on here at BJ Ministries. And I know that I talk about it all the time on my Tuesday morning programs, and I just kind of give you a tidbit here and a tidbit there and all that kind of fun stuff. But I wanted to make sure that you understand what I'm talking about, get a little more information. And I wanted to be able to take time to go a little more in depth on some of these things. So, hence the what, where, how, and when. We're going to explain all those things to you today. And tonight, I have some of my dear friends on with us who are part of our group, WOTC and BJ Ministries. And so they're going to be sharing as well, just their insight and some of the things they've experienced and why they're excited to be a part of this. So we're all going to kind of jump in and talk at different times. So hopefully it doesn't get too chaotic. If you have any questions, make sure you put it all in caps. That way, as I'm looking through my comments, I can spot the questions. And so put it all in capital letters. And that way it'll kind of jump out at me and I can see it. And I also have to tell you, some of the platforms don't show up on my comment feed. So if I don't get to your question, I apologize. It's just because you're on a different feed than I'm on. And so it sometimes doesn't show up. I'm going to check something. I don't think I have Instagram going. So I'm going to fix that. Actually, that might not be a good idea because I think it's going to feedback because I forgot to check it. So we're going to leave Instagram alone. If you were trying to get on Instagram, I'm on YouTube and both of the Facebook channels. So just reach us over there. All righty. Let's see, say good evening. I almost say good morning because I'm so used to being on in the morning. Ramona, good morning. See, I did it. I knew I was going to do it. Good evening. And Jewel, good evening. And Justice, St. Louis, Patricia, Dens, Rusty, good to have you guys on. Share the broadcast. Let other people know that we are on live tonight. So let them know. Hey, Rhonda and William from Kentucky. Good to have you on with us this evening. Great, great to have you. So we're going to start talking about first our first thing that we're doing, and that's WOTC. Um, I've had people say, "What in the world is WOTC?" WOTC stands for Women of the Cross, and we practice learning the word so that we can put it into action in our lives, not just talk about it, not just spout it, but actually apply it to our everyday lives so that we know that what Christ has done for us has a literal effect in our life. And so we want to take that knowledge of what he's done, apply it to our life, and give us, everything that Christ has died for us to have, healing and a sound mind and our provisions met. There's so many different things, so many different areas. So I started this women's platform, WOTC, so that women would have a place to come together, learn about the word, learn how to apply the word, and then as they grow, they too can go and teach that word to other women so that we're having that revolving door of women learning and then teaching, learning, teaching. We don't want to take what we have and sit back and hold it all to ourselves. So that's where the vision came from. And then the platform is a subscription based platform, which means you purchase a subscription and you get whatever that subscription has attached to it. And our purpose for that was so that women um, who can't go to our retreats would be able to come, and this helps fund that. So we're going to get more into that in just a moment, but I wanted to give you just a synopsis of what we're going to be talking about tonight. Hi, Chris. Hello, Susan and Rosa, Diane, and Vicky. Good evening to you guys. So I'm gonna start off with Megan. Megan is my administrator. She's my new right hand lady. She's been helping me with a lot, and we were talking about this the other day. And she was just sharing how she was telling someone about WOTC, and she just inspired me. I wanted to join after listening to her. So I was like, we're going to go on and we're just going to talk to the people and tell them about this. So, Megan, give me a little bit of what you were telling me of why you joined and how it took you a minute to join us over on WOTC.
Okay. Hi everybody. Yeah, so I didn't know BJ last year at this time. I had went to Family Worship Center. The Lord led me there, and I was like, "Who is this lady? She sings so beautifully, and who is this lady?" So with the YouTube channel coming up, I saw like a song, and I was like, "Okay, let me listen to her." And then she kept on her broadcast. She would say, "Oh, catch me on Tuesdays," and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna catch her on Tuesdays." And then she kept talking about this WOTC, and I was like, "What is WOTC?" Um, so I went on the website, looking it up, and I was like, "Wow, okay, there's 3 different plans. I don't know, like which one should I get? I really want to be a part of the Bible study, so that's the one that's the most expensive." But then I thought about it. I was like, I spend that easily on you coffee or something like that. So it was like a no-brainer. So I was like, the Lord just led me. I have to do this. This is for me because last year was so rough. This is a rough year for me. And so just to have these group of ladies that inspire me, they're there for me for prayer. I mean, even if you join and do the $10 plan, you still have that prayer wall. You still have, we have postings all the time. We get together. You're still part of WOTC. You're still part of the sisterhood. And so that's most important to me. So I was like, all right, let's do these Bible studies. And then the Bible studies, I mean, even we had Jonah. And I think Sister Farah did Jonah. And I didn't realize that Jonah, I could relate to him. He's like a dude. I'm like, well, how is Jonah going to relate to me? But I'm telling you, it was amazing. The studies, you will be blessed by them. And then all the other ladies too, like she'll come on, Sheila and Dalitha. I mean, just powerful ladies and prayer warriors. We have other ladies on there, Mary, just always there to be there for you. So that's most important to me. So
That's good. Anybody else want to pop in?
Yeah, BJ, when I first became a part, when you first asked me about it, and I became a part, I didn't really feel the love in the sense of, I'm like, well, these are BJ's friends. BJ knows all these people. I don't know these people. But I'm gonna tell you about the fourth one in, I literally felt like, you know how you see a train and it hooks up, it's almost like a magnet, it just hooks to the next one. I felt like a holy hookup. Like I literally felt the joining of such a spiritual connection. There was such a connection. And I felt, as she said, the sisterhood. I felt it at that point. And from that day forth, it's like I know these women. I've never met one of them face to face, but I feel like I know them because I know them in the spirit. It's kind of like my husband and I, when we first met, what brought us together was, he's fine and she's cute and that kind of thing. That's what brought us together. And we got married and everything. And that was a great connection. We had kids. That was a great connection. But let me tell you something. There is no connection like when you connect on a spiritual level. When
Amen.
I remember one time we were in the car going to Sam's to buy some food, and we had a CD on, and the CD was Phil Driscoll, and he was singing I Exalt Thee.
Mhm.
By the time we got there, both of us crying, I mean, like literally crying. We sat in a car like 30 minutes after we got there, just soaking up the goodness of God. We had the best fellowship of talking about the things of God. And when we're together talking about the things of God, when you connect on a spiritual level, there's something special there. There's something powerful about that. And that's how it is with the sisterhood. There's just
Mhm.
something, like I might be teaching, or BJ might be teaching, or Sheila might be preaching, or Sister Delitha might be teaching because she's a teacher too. Whenever that's going on, we just kind of feed off of each other. There's a
Yeah.
connection there, not just a physical connection with seeing each other, but there's a spiritual connection
Yeah.
there. And that's what I love about this ministry. It's a true sisterhood because it's got that spiritual connection with it.
Amen.
That's one of the
Amen.
things that I wanted to bring about is that sisterhood because women tend to isolate themselves.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, we feel like, well, we've got too much going on. I've got to do this and I've got to do this. I've got to do this. And because of that, they're so isolated. That's when the enemy comes in and brings depression and
Hmm.
brings addictions and things that, God has no intention of us trying to handle all of that by ourselves.
Right, right.
And, that's why he tells in the Bible, he says that the older women should bring up those younger women, teach them, show them the ways because they've been through it and they've got some wisdom to share. And
Yes.
I'm like, I don't know how long I existed on my own little island. It was a long time. And I could count on one hand how many women I spoke to, and that was my sister and one other lady. That was it. And I didn't talk to her very often, but I talked to my sisters all the time. But other than that, I was on the island. The reason why I was able to stay
Mhm,
in an abusive marriage for so long
mhm,
because I was on an island. Nobody
mhm,
had any idea what was on in my life because I was not connected in with
mhm,
anyone. So I didn't have anyone to bounce, is this supposed to happen? Is this godly? Is this, part of God's plan? God's calling me to do this. What do you think? I didn't have anyone to talk to.
mhm.
And so, I wanted to have a safe place for women to be able to come and share. Go ahead, Sister Sheila. I know you got stuff to say.
I'm not going to preach, but I hear the word connecting people together. I remember when you first approached me, I was standing by the handicap door and I was greeting. And you got off the platform after rehearsal and you approached me and we just started talking. And we had church right there. And I always knew Brother Trent, but I felt connected to you. And little did I know that it wouldn't be long that you would approach me about the retreat, the women's retreat. And it was just so funny because prior to meeting you, I had researched, I had gone online and looking for different retreat. I wanted to just go and be fed, go and get encouraged, go and get motivated, go and get strengthened. And all these retreats that I was looking at, I'm like, oh my God, it's expensive and it's so far away. And when you brought that to me, it's like God knew what I had been searching for, and He brought it to me
Mhm,
not only to go and get fed, but to be a part of it and to that what I got encouraged with. Now I am going out and encouraging others. And it's
mhm,
just so powerful because this was my last year was my first retreat. And during that time, God is so amazing. His timing is perfect. During that time, it was a season where I felt as though the enemy just said, I'm just sick of that little girl there. It's like when I would get out the bed and put my feet down, it's like, oh Lord, she's up. So it was a season where he came with everything at me. He came and attacked my physical body. He came and attacked marriage and children. And it's like everything was coming down. And it's like he had double gloves on. He said, you won't stop praising God? Well, I'm going to knock you out. But God, he couldn't do that because God had a ram in the bush. He
All right.
sent a little old lady named BJ and said, you know what? I'm going to pour out my life. I'm
Mhm,
going to pour out my time. I'm going to pour out my gift. I'm going to pour out everything that God has done in me, through me, and I'm going to give it to others. And
Mhm.
I tell you, my first retreat, I was blown out the water. I never forget the first night we got there. I believe our theme was refreshed, renewed, restored. And there was so much on my mind mentally, and there was so much going on in my body physically. And after we got settled in and got cleaned up, I got in my bed and I said, Lord, I need you. And immediately I heard the voice of God say, delete. Hit that delete button. Delete everything that you came here to this retreat with, and I'm going to help you. And I tell you, I not only myself, but I know that every woman that was there did not leave the same. The atmosphere was just amazing. We were just so refreshed. We were so, I mean, the Spirit of God moves in such a mighty way. And I just give God glory for using his daughter the way he used you to help us. It was just a blessing. I've never attended a retreat, and it was my first time. And I tell you, I'm excited because I want more. I want more because as you pour in, we poured out.
Mhm.
So I
That's
thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I appreciate the women that are there. I remember the first retreat. None of us pretty much knew any of us except for the few of us that came from the ministry. We knew of each other. You know, we knew we fellowship at the same ministry, but it's like our spirit all connected. It's like
Mhm.
we were supposed to be there. The atmosphere was just so pleasant. The presence of the Lord, he met us there, and he restored and he renewed and he revived us in a way that we left there different. It was
you know,
powerful.
I would actually use that retreat to spring out, WOTC to spring out from, because, as I got to talking to the ladies and just experiencing, the needs and all that, the Lord birthed that, idea of doing the online platform. And I had been thinking about it, but, it's one of those things that was just kind of in the back of my mind.
Right.
And when we got into that retreat and I got to, experience that, the Lord started really showing me, I'm going to use this late. I knew you were one of them. He started pointing to different ones, and I said, he said, I'm gonna use this one, and this one's gonna help you with this, and this one's gonna help you. And I was like, okay, Lord, I don't know how you're gonna do this, but
He
we're
did.
gonna try to get it together. And we started WOTC 4 months after that first retreat. And it
Wow.
was also during that time that the Lord impressed upon me to change the pricing of our retreats. Because I believe that retreat was 350, and then if
Mhm.
you then I had a discounted price as well. And I knew it was expensive, but you have to pay the bills. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
It's expensive to put on a retreat. And but the Lord was so strong on me, that I needed to make them free. And I was like, Lord, I don't know if this is you. I kinda had that same experience as when he told me to leave Jimmy Swagger Ministries, which was a nice solid income coming in, and I had kids going into college, and I had a new house, and I had a new car, and and I'm like, "Who's gonna pay those bills?" And God told me to step out. Well, when I stepped out, God met the need. And so
Amen.
when he told me to step out, I had that same little argument, but I was a little quicker to listen than I was the time before. And I said, "Okay, Lord, we're going to do this." And so the Lord told me, he said, "Now put a price on the studies, and that will help pay for the retreats." And so the Lord was giving me avenues to not only minister, but to make a way financially for others to be able to be blessed by
Mm.
sowing into one area where they're
Yeah.
getting fed, and it's helping grow another area. And so I was really nervous. I'm telling you, when we put the platform together and we decided on the 3 different tiers, the top tier is $50 a month, the second tier is $25 a month, and the bottom tier is $10 a month. I was like, "People are gonna think I done lost my mind." Farrah, I'm gonna let you talk about that because you were one of the ones that called me about it and was questioning, like, "What is this about?" And, the I only had one other model to go off of, and her
Mhm.
prices were, like, way more than this, and I was like, "Lord, I don't even know if I'm doing this right." But I knew God told me to do it. And,
Mhm.
so our $50 tier, what it does is you have a Zoom class where all of us are on, these ladies that you're seeing here tonight, plus, the others who are some of our subscriptors, are on Tuesday nights, and we get together and we go through the word, and you have a chance to ask questions. You have a chance to interject, what you learned that week on the study, and you can tell us, what you're struggling with, your prayer requests, your testimonies. We have church.
We do.
Sometimes we're
Oh yeah.
supposed to do like, what is it? An hour and 15 minutes, and we usually end up much a
Over.
little longer than that.
Mhm.
But it's such a blessing that we get caught up in that.
Yeah, it
And,
is.
so that's what our $50 tier, plus there's some other, little perks of coupons and, events that we go to. Matter of fact, our retreats, you get to sign up first before anybody else, and that's the reason why is because it is free. You tend to have people sign up, not show up. And so, um, it fills up really quickly, so we give our members a chance to sign up for the retreats first, before anybody else, and then we open up to the general public. Then our $25 one, you get those same Zoom classes, but you get them the next week to where you can watch and work at your own leisure. We have ladies who can't come on and be on live with us, but they want the Bible studies. They want to still be able to hear the discussion. They still want to be able to hear the questions. So they take those studies and on their own time, they listen to the videos, they go through the study guide, and then on Tuesdays after my Tuesday morning program, we'll get on. And if anyone has questions or just wants to discuss it, we have that open forum available for that. And anybody on any platform can join that Tuesday afternoon, morning uh, tea time. We call it tea time. So you can join us for tea. I always have my tea. You like my sloth? Isn't he cute?
Yeah.
So they join me for tea on Tuesday afternoons. And then our $10 platform is basically there for those of you that want to support. Y'all really don't have time to do a Bible study. You're not really interested in connecting, which I wish you would be. I would prefer that you would be connected in. But that $10 platform gives you a chance to sow into the ministry, $10 a month. You still have access to the study guides, the Zoom classes. You just will get them later than everybody else. You will get access to our testimony board, um, our prayer board. You'll still be able to come to our meetups, which we do around camp meetings, usually Easter camp meeting, and then again at youth camp. So if you're in town, we meet up for lunch and you can join us. We have fun time with that. And Megan, am I forgetting anything else? What else do they get?
They also get some gifts that you send out as well.
Gifts. You get a welcome gift. That's right. That's right. So, it's a great avenue for you to learn the word, meet some ladies, have a chance to have some female fellowship and have a good time and support other women who need the retreats and would like to attend those. Farrah, tell me about your experience when you first asked me about WOTC, why I was uh doing what I was
Why you
doing.
had to pay for it. Yeah, to me it was like, well, what am I paying for? I mean, well, I wasn't paying, but I wanted to know, why do people have to pay to become a part of it? Which is why I'm really glad that you're on explaining it, because a lot of times, some of us, we just don't know. We just hear, as soon as we hear that you got to pay some, oh no, I'm out. I got enough stuff to pay for. But this is something that is really so, so worth it. There's so much in it. I had no clue. I didn't come looking for this. I had no desire to become a part of any group. I have also been an island. Um, you know, I was used to have such a desire for reading the Word of God, and that had kind of diminished. I was just in a place of cold, if you will, a place of cold, or lukewarm is a better word. Um, and as I became a part, as she explained everything, it made more sense to me. I became a part, but I had no idea how much God had in store for me. And there's so many times where we reject so quickly
Yes.
and have no idea what God has in store for us. We when we studied Jonah, we studied about how God is so detailed, and our eyes were like really open, like how detailed He really is. For BJ to come and ask me, I mean, she could have asked a whole lot of people, but for her to come to me, um, and for me to feel like I wasn't ready, but God knew what He was going to be doing in me. He knew how to draw me in, and He drew me in. And I'm so
Amen.
glad that that little
Amen.
detail of BJ being obedient to the Holy Spirit and saying, "Go get Pharaoh." It
Amen.
kind of reminds me of Jesus when He went fishing for men. He was looking for those disciples and stuff.
Yes.
He was specific about who He went to draw in. And BJ, listening to the Holy Spirit drew me right in, and I'm so glad, and so
Hallelujah.
glad I listened and said yes.
Amen.
We're
Yeah.
so glad
Delisa,
to have you.
Thank you.
Delisa, I'm gonna give you a chance to say something in a second. Patricia Ben says, "Oh my goodness, I'm really excited about attending one of the retreats after listening to the sisters." We're going to give you some more information about the retreats in just a few minutes as
Mhm.
well. Um, somebody else asked the question. Doo, doo, doo. Somebody asked, "How do you become a part of the Bible study?" You go to wotc.bjministries.com. It's scrolling right down there at the bottom of your screen. So go
Mhm.
ahead and just type that in, and it'll take you to a page, and it explains each tier, and you just follow the instructions on the page, and then you can find your way uh, right through that. Okay. Delisa, do you have anything you wanted to add?
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to say that I'm truly blessed to be a part of the ministry. And I felt like Sister Farah, and still a lot of times feel like, I'm not ready. I felt like I have nothing to offer. But then when you, Sister VJ, asked me to come in and be a part and help out, and you said, you don't have to answer right now. Go ahead and pray about it and let me know. And I said, well, I don't have to pray about it because the Lord had already put in my spirit to be a part of the ministry and to help out in whatever way that I could. And the very first retreat that I attended year before last, the retreat was actually booked up and there were no more spots. But somebody ended up canceling or couldn't attend, and Pam reached out to me and said, "Hey, there's a spot available. Would you like to go?" And I said, "Well, yeah, of course, I would love to go." And the teaching, the preaching, as Sister Sheila have already stated, was so amazing. And just the message that you preached when you carried around the baggage
Ah,
and the trash and the garbage, and just letting the women know, and myself included, that you don't have to carry all of that stuff, that Jesus died so that we wouldn't have to carry that baggage around and we could release it to him. And so that was just really inspiring to me and really uplifted me. And I felt like I was in that place as well that Sister Farah had spoken of a little while ago about being dry and about being cold or lukewarm, And so that was really something that I needed, and it benefited me tremendously. And I'm glad to be a part of the ministry and be a part of helping someone else to find the deliverance and the freedom and this joy again, as our last retreat was titled, Restoring the Joy in their lives, because Jesus is real and he's still working miracles in our lives. And I'm just glad to be a part.
Amen. We're glad to
Amen.
have you for sure.
Amen. Mhm.
Hey, Pammy, did you want to say something?
Of course, you know me. I always have something to say. But just like the other ladies, I'm also very grateful for how God has moved. Of course, in BJ's heart to open up this ministry to all of us and have us be a part of it and join in not only fellowship but also in learning. And one of the I think the last one that we had, the thankfulness one, is the one that has impacted me the most because um, we always say thank you, Lord, but what are we thankful for? So I mean, I think that the open-ended questions and just also the rhetorical questions in every single class, not just one, um they do allow you to sit back and just contemplate and really think about what is it that we're learning, what is it that God really wants to speak to our heart. And I think that without the obedience of BJ, of course, to not only open up WOTC but also with the retreats, we wouldn't be here. um,
That's right.
and what I'm looking forward to is, I know in BJ's heart is the mentoring of the younger women. I have a young lady that she's 19, that's my baby, but um, you know, wanting her to experience as well what we've already experienced, and maybe, um, and of course to mentor her and other young lady her age and in their 20s, where they haven't experienced life the way we have, and some of them have experienced life far more than we have, even at their short age. But to know that we're here for them, not only to listen to them but to also pray with them, pray for them, walk with them, even in, whether it's in a good season or in a bad season, I think is going to be very important. So to me, the ministry is just starting, because I know that God has, I mean, it's been 2 years, but you know what I mean. I know that God has very, very big
Yes.
plans. And I think that the biggest part is the harvest part of it.
Mhm.
Because just like how Megan, it started with a question for her, and you know, this is interesting. Let me find out what it is. And to see where she started, I remember first seeing her in one of the videos, and she was just like, to now being so involved and being such a blessing, because at the end of the day,
Yes.
that's what she is. She's such a blessing to all of us,
Amen.
to see how God can use her, and not just her, but Sister Farah and your other sister in the retreat. Oh my God, it's so many people, and God is so good, you know, having something so simple. I know in the last retreat, you had me as the runner, right?
Mhm.
And simply driving with Sister Tennyson back and forth to her, hotel, and listening to her testimony and her encouraging words is like, Lord, if you only brought me here for this, I am so thankful. It's in those little things in the little details that you don't think about, but God has thought it out. And that's the beauty of
Amen.
it, because he thinks everything through, and is always to bless us, and is always for us to honor him and lift up his name, because without him we wouldn't be here. So I'm just grateful to be a part of
Amen.
you guys, and I'm looking forward to continuing to learn more and grow with everyone.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Tomorrow night, we actually start back on
Mhm.
WOTC with our next study. We take breaks in between studies, and so I'm going to show y'all a sneak peek. Let me go back to. I didn't realize it was going to not start at the beginning, so we're going to start it back here. Um, so our first study is uh, this study is called Grace Extended, and we're going to be talking about Sister Esther. Queen Esther. I love Queen Esther, so I'm really excited to start off this study with her. Um, the reason why I decided to make her the first one is I named this study after the 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 moment when she walked into the throne room uninvited. She was not supposed to come in without being invited,
Mm,
and she came in vulnerable, terrified, but on a mission. And there's a moment in there where they said that she was so overcome by his first reaction of, "Why are you walking before me?" that she nearly passed out.
Mhm.
And he extended that scepter of grace to her
Mhm.
because of his love for her.
Mhm.
And it was that love that shone through, even though he was aggravated and wondering why she was challenging him in that moment, that love came forward. And
Yeah.
how many times have we come before the throne of God in fear and trembling, and God extended us grace? He
Yeah.
extended his scepter to us. So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. So kind of give you an idea what our study guide looks like.
Mhm.
I write the study guides and we put them out ahead of time so that the ladies can either use them digitally, they're in PDF form, and they can use them on their digital devices. I use GoodNotes, and so mine I can write in it, color in it, I can do all kind of stuff. I mark mine up. And so I can do that right on my iPad. But you can print these out, and that way you can write your notes or journal with each lesson. So all the lessons get put up on the Mighty Networks platform, which is what we use.
Mhm.
And so then you can download that and go through each day's study as we go. So just to give you a little preview of what our study guides look like. And so I'm so excited. We're going to have a great time. I believe some of the others that are in this study, Zilla, see if I can say it right. Zillow, no, I can't say it. I'm going to call him Mr. Z the whole
Right.
time. Mr. Z's five daughters.
Yep.
Zilla Fads, something like that. It's daughters. That was a story that I'd never heard about.
Mhm.
Actually, I probably read it because I've read through the Bible, but it's one of those stories that I just skipped over and didn't really pay attention to.
Mhm.
Come find out they mentioned in the Bible like 5 different times. And so it was a really interesting story. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about Hagar. We're going to talk about Lot's wife, Bathsheba. So we've got some interesting studies coming up. So I'm excited for you guys to be a part of that. So if you want to be a part of that, you can go sign up. It's scrolling right there at the bottom of your screen. w.o.t.c.bjministries.com. And you can go there and you can choose which one that you want to be a part of. I see a question from Susan. It says, "Where do you begin first in putting a women's conference together, other than prayer? I live in a place where ladies usually travel to a conference, and I have been feeling the Lord nudging me." Putting together a conference, yeah, other than prayer, prayer is the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
serious. You know, I literally, when I started with these retreats, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I still don't have a clue what I'm doing. The Lord literally dropped something in my heart and I just start there. And when he gives me that first step, I take it to women that I know that um, are either already working in that area or have worked in that area. And I said, this is what I'm wanting to do. Is am I going in the right direction? And they'll either point me one way or the other, and like, nah, that's not where you're going. And so I literally had to do it step by step. But it does start with prayer, then finding your venue, praying, asking God, who do you want to speak at this? Who is your audience? Is it women in general? Is it women who are grieving, women that been through traumatic situations, women that need mentoring, young ladies that need, you know, mentoring, whatever your niche is that you're speaking to, um, find out, what's the best time of year for them to come out to a retreat. So there's some research that goes into it. But yeah, it does start with prayer. Prayers all the way through it, all the way through till the end, because it's definitely an interesting thing to jump into. Um, all right. Okay, so I want to go to our retreats. The whole reason why, well, not the whole reason, but part of the reason why that we started WOTC is so that we could um, make it available for the ladies to come to our retreats. This year's retreat um, is $50 per person, and that cost is to um, to make sure you have a spot. Because we had an issue where people would sign up and nobody and wouldn't show up, and then there were people that wanted to come that couldn't because the notice was too late. So it's a $50 deposit that includes a T-shirt. Whether you come or not, you still get your T-shirt. We will mail you your T-shirt. So that $50 secures the fact that you have a spot and that you have a T-shirt. Other than that, your accommodations, your food, your swag bags, um, all of the entertainment, the services, everything else is included, everything. So this retreat, we're going to be having it at the Rivers, Retreat Center in Covington, Louisiana. It is, a beautiful place out in the country. It has several different cabins, no bunk beds, so you don't have to worry about being in a bunk bed. They're all really nice beds. It's got a pool, though it might be a little too chilly for the pool. He said it will be open. So if you like if I don't know, we're in Louisiana, it might be hot enough for the pool, who knows? There's a creek down there that you can actually take canoes out on. There's some walking, nature walks. Um, Oh, there's just so many things. I think it's tennis and there's basketball and things like that. So this retreat, I want your young ladies to come as well. We have Mary Beth Reagan, who is her husband is the Crossfire pastor at Family Worship Center. So she and her husband help pastor that large youth ministry, and she teaches and preaches at the school. And so she really has a heart for the young ladies, and we're excited to hear what the Lord's going to say through her at the retreat. She's going to be speaking. It's going to be awesome. So you want to have your young ladies come out for this retreat. We chose this area so that they'd have some fun things to do. Plenty of fun things like the pool and the basketball and all that kind of stuff. And then the older ladies that don't want to do all that, there's porches on some of these cabins. You can sit on the porch and watch them. So we have a little bit of everything for everybody. So make sure that you encourage your young ladies come out, 18 and older. If they are younger than 18, they must come with their parent and they must stay with their parent in the parent cabin. So just so you know that, but otherwise not 18 and older. And then we have a Dr. Maria Khalil from Florida. Mercy. That's all I can say. When I heard her preach, I was just blown away. She has a testimony of healing. I encourage you to look her up on YouTube, especially if you cannot come to this retreat. But she is going to bless your socks off. You are going to really, really, really enjoy her ministry. So I want to make sure that you guys, go register. Register today. Um, you can register at BJ Ministries /events. And I'm gonna see if I have my there it is. There's the link right there at the bottom of your screen, bjministries.com/events. Go on there and it's really easy to register, and you can register for the retreat right there. Does anybody want to mention anything about our retreats?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the first retreat, there were some ladies at the ministry that wasn't not able to attend. And then we had a few students that desired to attend. So there were some donation given to help some of the ladies to be able to attend. Are you going to do that this at this retreat? If someone would like to sponsor and give,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know that some of our Bible college students, even $50 is deposit is a bit much for them. And we are always, always, always willing to work with anybody. So if you want to sponsor one of the younger ladies at the Bible college to be able to attend this retreat, just contact us and we will take care of that. All righty. All right. Any other comments, ladies?
no.
All right. I want to mention we do have one spot on our team that I am trying to fill. And if you are interested in volunteering, and you have some techie qualifications, I'll just put it like that. If you have some techie qualifications, let us know. You can contact us at bjministries.com, bj@bjministries.com. And we would love to get to know you and see how you can help the ministry. That is just the one area that we are looking to fill, and we would love to have you part of the team. So, does anybody on our feed have any questions? We have quite a few people that's joined us. Jerry, good to have you on. Heather's one of our young ladies that's on our platform, and we love Heather and her beautiful
Yeah.
babies. Pamela Cooper, good to have you on with us. Jesus saves. Um, I think I said hello to Songbird. Joan, good to have you on with us. Christine Hooks, Teresa. Um, we have quite a few of you guys that popped on with us. And I know there's plenty of others that are not commenting that are there. So hello to you. Roger, hello. Susan Beecher, hello to you. Um, Good. I'm glad that we were able to help you with that. Hey Mary. Mary's on, y'all.
Hey,
Hi.
Mary.
Good to see you, Mary. Mary's daughter came to our retreat this past fall, and she was the highlight of our retreat because she went into labor. Water broke, and her water broke at the retreat. The paramedics come and they didn't know what was going on. They had a bunch of ladies outside clapping their hands and cheering, and they were like, "What in the world?" And so, we tell Mary that even though they named the baby something else, we are going to always call her Joy, 'cause, she was at our Joy retreat, so really funny. Um, Patricia asked if this was going to be on every Monday night. No.
We got to get
Sorry.
ready for Tuesday.
Yes, I actually have, family prayer on Monday nights, and then we have Bible study on Tuesday nights. I have church on Thursday nights, and
Wednesday night.
I mean, Wednesday night. Yeah, thank you. And so, yeah, that I don't have enough time, but I'll try to do more impromptu jumping on at in the evenings and see if we can do some chats. I used to do that back during the COVID days when I couldn't go anywhere. I did a lot more of the impromptu stuff. So maybe we'll try to do that. Oh, one of the other things that we do on WOTC, we're scheduling some for this year. Last year we did a family uh conference on the platform. It was on a Saturday morning, and my mother and my sisters, we all got on and we talked about marriage and family, and that was really fun. That was a good time. My sister Debbie was supposed to do another one for us on a different topic, and some things came up, and so she couldn't do it. So we're going to try to get that in this year. So we would love for you to be a part of both the retreat and WOTC. Don't miss out. God's been speaking to some of y'all, and y'all were like Megan, so clicking on the button, looking at it, and clicking off, and clicking
That's
on
right.
the button.
Well, let
Come
me
on and join.
say this. So, before I even went to Family Worship Center, I got this message sent to me, and it was right place, right people, right plan. And the place wasn't just, a physical place, it was also like a mental place, like where I was. And so I was really heartbroken last year. A lot was happening. But now I see like the way that the Lord ordered my steps. There's
Yes.
people in our church that, they're like, how do you know BJ? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I signed up for a Bible studies, and just kind of like connected. And so even with the retreat, I wasn't part of BJ's team. Just coming there, and I want to stay around the kitchen because I like to eat. So I was like, any way I can help. So I was there early in the morning with Sister Sheila,
She was. She
coming
was the first one in the kitchen, and she was a great help too.
coming to do whatever I can to help. And so that's how I got, a part of the team. So I'm just telling y'all, like, the right place, the right people, and the right plan. So I know that
Amen.
I'm the right path and fulfilling what the Lord has for my life. So thank
Amen.
you
Yes.
so much.
Amen. Anybody else want to say some parting words before we get off of here tonight? Anybody? All right. So everybody has said their piece. I want to remind everybody tomorrow morning, Heaven's Point of View will be on 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure that you join me tomorrow morning. Love to have you on. We've got a good topic for you. And so come join us. Come and join us.
Amen.
And then right after our Tuesday morning, I will meet with anybody that's a WOTC member, no matter what tier you're on. All you have to do is tune in to tea time, and we'll chat and hang out for about 30 minutes. Sometimes it's a little longer, depending on how many people we have and what we talk about. So you can join us for that. If you're needing more information on our retreat, uh, just check out our website, BJ Ministries/events. Real simple, real easy. Or go to bjministries.com and hit the events tab. And if you want to be a part of WOTC, which we would love to have you, check out our website, w.o.t.c.bjministries.com. I know that's a lot of dots, but it's all necessary. It's all part of the address. So check all of that out. We would love to have you a part of everything that we have going on. I believe that the Lord will bless you. And as you sow into this ministry, um, you are sowing into untold lives of other women who come to our retreats. This retreat we have coming up in May will be able to house 50 plus women. So, that's a lot of women to sow into. And you never know, it may be your gift that that the Lord uses. So if
Yes.
you are interested in just doing a donation toward the retreat, you can do that at bjministries.com. Just hit the donation button. All right. Just hit the donation button. All right. Megan, have I said everything? Did I forget anything?
No, I think you said everything. And we have 100 days till the retreat, so I'm excited.
100 days, really?
Yes,
I like
ma'am.
it. You got 100 days.
Wonderful. Awesome. Awesome.
Oh, so y'all gotta check it out. I don't know
Yes.
if y'all saw my little video earlier, but these are some of the highlights from last year's retreat, our fall retreat. And we just had a blessed time with gifts and food and sweet ladies. That was Sister Gray. She is just a sweetheart. Some of the ladies came and started helping decorate. I was like, wow, you people came early. So we had a fabulous time of ministry, song. You want to be a part of this, go out and register right now. Don't wait. You don't want all the spots to fill up before you get a chance to be on that. All right. All right. I love you guys.
Amen.
We had an awesome time tonight. Were you going to
Yes.
say something, Pam?
I was saying we love you too.
We love you.
Wonderful time. Y'all come on and join. You're missing out.
That's right. Bible study starts tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. You still have time to join us. And even if you wait a little longer, you can still always join and catch up on the studies. All right. So, but this is a good one. Don't want to miss out on Grace Extended. All right. Love
Amen.
y'all. And I will
Love
see
you.
y'all tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Bye bye.
Good
Y'all
night.
have a good evening.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye bye. Good night.
Night.